Okay, so in this class, we are going to see integration of expression 1 upon x square plus a square. 1 upon x square plus a square. Now, I want you to recall the differentiation of tan inverse function. Tan inverse function की differentiation was 1 upon x square plus 1. How were we getting this? Watch this. If tan inverse, if you were asked to find tan inverse of x की differentiation, let's say the function is y equals to tan inverse of x. Do you remember how did we go for the differentiation of tan inverse of x?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. When we were doing differentiation, I explained that how to find the derivative of tan inverse of x. Let's say the function is y equals to tan inverse of x. Then that would mean that tan of y, tangent of y, is going to be equal to x. Agreed?
Yes.
So if you go for finding the derivative, you are going to go for implicit differentiation. What is the differentiation of tan y?
Sec and square.
Yes, secant square y times dy by dx equals to differentiation of x is going to be 1. So dy by dx comes out to be 1 upon secant square y. Now we did replace secant square y with the identity 1 plus tan square y, and the derivative of dy by dx is now going to be 1 upon 1 plus tan square y. We have just replaced secant square y with 1 plus tan square y. Now, what was tan of y? Tan of y, tangent of y was x. So you can replace tangent of y with x, and you are going to get 1 plus x squared in the denominator. So derivative of tan inverse of x came out to be 1 upon 1 plus x squared. Are you with me till here?
Yes, sir.
So we know that integration is a reverse process of differentiation. Therefore, if I am going to integrate 1 upon x squared plus 1, I'm going to get tan inverse of x again.
Yes.
Okay. Now, extend this rule to a question in which, let's say, you have tan inverse of 2x. So if y is equal to tan inverse of 2x, then I can say tangent of y is going to be equal to
2x. Dx.
2x. Yes. If I take the derivative now on both sides, differentiation of tan y is going to be secant square y times dy by dx, implicit differentiation. Differentiation of 2x is going to be 2, right? Now, if you make dy by dx the subject, you are going to get 2 upon secant square y. And if you replace secant square y with the identity 1 plus tan square y, and then you can replace tan of y. What was tan of y equal to? It was equal to 2x. So instead of tan of y, tangent of y, you can replace it with 2x. Now you get 2 upon 1 plus 2x the whole thing square, which is 2 upon 4x square plus 1. Are you with me till here?
Yes, sir.
So that's what the differentiation of tan inverse of 2x is going to be. Tan inverse of 2x differentiation is 2 upon 4x square plus 1. Now if we are going for integration of 2 upon 4x plus 1, this is how you are going to integrate and get back the same function. So I can take this 2 and divide it by over there. So it is going to be half times dy by dx equals to 1 upon 4x square plus 1. Okay, I'm rearranging it and writing it as 1 upon 4x square plus 1 is equals to half times dy by dx. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you are going to integrate both sides now, okay, I can apply integration on both the sides, and integration of 1 upon 2 dy by dx is going to be 1 upon 2y plus c, and integration of 1 upon 4x square plus 1 is going to be on the left hand side. Now, I can take 4 common from the denominator. If I take 4 common from the denominator, I'll have to write 1 upon 4 over here. If I take 4 common, it's going to be x square plus 1 upon 4. This 4 can go on the other side and multiply with half like this. So also you can write 1 upon 4 as 1 upon 2 the whole thing square. I'm just going to tell you why am I doing this. So the right hand side comes out to be 4 upon 2, that is 2. 10 in, now y was equal to 10 inverse of 2x in our question. So
Yeah.
2 10 inverse of 2x plus c. So we came to know that if we have integration of function that is in the form of 1 upon x square plus a square, where a value is what?
Can?
A value over here is 1 upon 2. I just want you to match this outcome with this general rule. If we have an integration of an expression 1 upon x square plus 1 upon 2 square, where 1 upon 2 is equal to a, so the integration of such function is going to be 1 upon a. So if a is 1 upon 2, then what is 1 divided by 1 upon 2?
2.
2. 10 inverse x upon a, which is a is 1 upon 2. So will I be getting 2x over here?
Yes.
2x plus c. So I just showed you how did I get the integration answer in this form. So integration of 1 upon x square plus 1 upon 2, the whole thing square, was coming out to be equal to 4 upon 2, which is 2, 10 inverse 2x plus c. Now I just expect you to remember this general rule, that integration of 1 upon x square plus a square is always going to be equal to 1 upon 8 times 10 inverse of x upon a plus c. Okay, I want you to note this down, note the working on this slide down so that I can move on and do some other examples. So let's try these questions. You are being asked to integrate 1 upon x square plus 20. So what do you think? The integration, is this in the form of 1 upon x square plus a square yet?
Yes. You can make it 5 and a will be
So 1
5.
upon x square plus 5 square. The integration of this was equal to 1 upon a times 10 inverse x upon a plus c. So over here, it's going to be 1 upon
5
5 tan inverse.
x upon 5 plus c.
Yeah. So you just need to remember this rule of integration, and then the rest of the things can be worked out. What about integration of 1 upon 2x square plus 3?
Do you take 2 common?
Yes, you're going to take 2 common from the denominator. So if you take 2 common from the denominator, you're going to get x square plus 3 upon 2. Then what do you plan on doing?
Um, you just do 2 times.
I can take 1 upon 2 outside. So I'm just going to be left with 1 upon x square plus 3 upon 2. Is this in the form of 1 upon x square plus a square yet?
Yeah. No, you have to root it.
You have to
Square root it.
square root it. So what is the value of a basically? A, can I write square root and then square it so that the value doesn't change?
Sorry, sir, what was that? Your voice broke a little bit.
Can you hear me now? Can
Yes,
you hear
sir.
me? Okay. I was asking you, like,
Yes, sir.
is it in order to convert this 3 over 2 as a square, would you agree that a value is going to be square root of 3 upon 2? I can square outside as
Yes.
well. So what is the value of a? Square root of 3 upon 2. Now, if you remember, if you just apply this integration process, you are going to get 1 upon 2 as it is times integration of this expression is going to be 1 upon a. Now, 1 upon a is root 3 upon 2 times tan inverse x upon a, so x upon root 3 upon 2 plus c. Would you agree with me till here?
Yes, sir.
Now we need to simplify this. So 1 divided by root 3 upon 2 is simply root 2 upon 3, tan inverse root 2 upon 3 x plus c. This should be your answer.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
So the next question is find the exact value of integration of 1 upon x square plus 4 when the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is 2. So integration of 1 upon x square, 4 can be written as 2 square. So now this is in the form of 1 upon x square plus a square, which is going to be 1 upon a tan inverse x upon a. I won't be writing plus c. Instead, I'm going to apply the limits. So when you apply the upper limit, that is 2, you're going to get 1 upon 2, tan inverse of 2 upon 2 is 1, minus 1 upon 2, tan inverse of 0. This is going to be 0. Tan inverse in radian is pi upon 4. So 1 upon 2 times pi upon 4 is pi upon 8. You were asked for the exact value. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
So this was the last thing that was left in integration. And this is the latest thing as well because it has been added in the syllabus in 2020. Now I want you to do some past paper practice.
Okay.
Okay? Try out this question and then if you need my help, I'll help you out. So the first part says, by differentiating 1 upon cos x, show that the derivative of secant x is secant x tan x. So the function is 1 upon cos x. This is your u, this is your v. If I want to differentiate this, I'm going to apply the quotient rule. U is 1, v is cos x, u prime is differentiation of 1 is 0, differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. So vu prime minus u v prime over v square. So I'm going to get sin x over cos square x. Now sin x upon cos square x can be written as cos x, sin x upon cos x times cos x, sin x over cos x is 10x, and 1 upon cos x is secant x, hence it comes out to be secant x 10x. You have shown this. It then says, hence show that if y is equal to ln secant x plus 10x, then dy by dx is equal to secant x. So, if y is equal to ln secant x plus 10x, dy by dx is going to be 1 upon secant x plus 10x times the differentiation of secant x, and we know that the differentiation of secant x is secant x 10x, and the differentiation of 10x is, what is the differentiation of 10x? Secant square x, right?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Then from the numerator, you can take secant x common. We are going to be left with 10x plus secant x divided by secant x plus 10x. If you observe, this and this can be simplified, and the final answer is just going to be secant x. Did you get the right answer for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Now, using the substitution x equals to root 3 tan theta, you need to find the exact value of integration of 1 upon square root of 3 plus x square. So this is a question on substitution, integration by substitution. You should find dx by d theta first. So if x is equal to root 3 tan theta, differentiation of x with respect to theta is just going to be root 3. Tan theta differentiation is secant square theta, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you look at the expression of 1 upon square root of 3 plus x square, I need x square term over here. So I can square both sides, and I'm going to get x square equals to 3 tan square theta. So integration of 1 upon square root 3 plus 3 tan square theta d theta. Sorry, over here we have dx, so I need to replace dx as well. Dx is going to be root 3 secant square theta d theta. Were you able to get till here?
So I got to the step before this.
Okay. Now we are going to continue from here. The limits are still left. So let's figure out the limits as well. When x is 1, you have been given limits of x in the question. And you want the limits of theta. So I want you to find me when x is 1, what is theta, and when x is 3, what is theta equal to. Use your calculator and use this equation, x equals to root 3 tan theta. Make sure your calculator is in radian mode. I'm getting pi upon 6 for this.
Yes, sir.
And pi upon 3 when x is 3. Which one is the larger value, pi upon 6 or pi upon 3?
5.3.
Pi upon 3 is the larger value. Pi upon 6 is the smaller value. I'm going to copy this to the next page. Okay, now we need to integrate this after simplifying. So pi upon 3, pi upon 6. If I solve this denominator by taking 3 common, I'm going to get 1 plus tan squared theta times root 3 secant square theta d theta. If you recall the identity, 1 plus secant square theta is secant, 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. So this is going to be square root of secant square theta times root 3 secant square theta d theta. Root 3 can be cancelled out. You can simplify the powers of secant square theta as well. So I'm going to be left with only secant theta. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but your screen is frozen, I think.
Oh, just a second. Is it clear now? I'm gonna go over this again. So when x was 3, theta was coming out to be pi upon 3. So the upper limit is pi upon 3, the lower limit is pi upon 6. 1 over square root of 3 plus 3 tan squared theta times root 3 secant squared theta times d theta. Are you with me till here?
Yes, sir.
Then I copied this to the next page and then further simplified this. I took 3 common out, so I was getting 1 plus tan square theta. 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta, and we had a square root. So square root of 3 times square root of secant square theta times square root of 3 times secant square theta d theta. This square root and square can be cancelled out, and if you resolve the powers of secant theta and secant square theta, you are going to be left with secant theta in the numerator. Root 3 and root 3 are going to be cancelled out. Now, the question is asking for integration of secant theta. Consider the first part. Integration of secant theta is going to be if the derivative of 1 upon cos x, sorry, if, just a second. See, if the derivative, if y was equal to ln secant x plus tan x, the derivative was secant x. Okay. Now, if I want to integrate secant x, would you agree that I'm going to get ln secant x plus tan x back? The integration of secant x is this from the question.
Yes.
So I'm going to use that integration now. It was ln secant x plus tan x, and the limits were pi upon 3, pi upon 6. Let's substitute the values now. Ln secant pi upon 3, which is 1 upon cos pi upon 3. What is cos pi upon 3? 1 upon 2, 1 upon, I'm getting 2 for this. Tan pi upon 3 is root 3 minus ln secant x, secant pi upon 6. So that is 1 upon cos pi by 6. That is 2 root 3 upon 3 minus, sorry, plus tan pi upon 6 is root 3 upon 3. Ln 2 plus root 3 minus ln 2 root 3 upon 3 plus root 3 upon 3 is 3 root 3 upon 3. That is just root 3. Now, whenever you have two logs having the same base and are being subtracted, so you can express them as a single log by writing ln 2 plus root 3 in the denominator and square root of 3 in the denominator. 2 plus root 3 in the numerator and square root of 3 in the denominator. Is this making sense? This is the final answer. Yeah? Is it making sense now?
Yes.
Now the question says, for each of the following curves, find the gradient at the point where the curve crosses the y-axis. Okay. So for that, to find the gradient, we need to find the derivative of y with respect to x expression dy by dx. This part is the numerator, this part is the denominator, so we are going to apply quotient rule. So for part 1, u is going to be 1 plus x square, v is going to be 1 plus e to the power of 2x, u prime is going to be 2x, v prime is going to be e to the power of 2x times 2. dy by dx is going to be vu prime vu prime minus u v prime over v square. Okay. So we need to find the gradient at the point where the curve crosses the y-axis. So at y-axis, x is 0. So let's find that point. So let's find the gradient when x is 0. If you are going to plug in 0, the first term is going to be 0 minus 1 times 2 over 2 square. Okay, so minus 2 upon 4, that is negative 1 upon 2. This should be your answer. Right? Is there any
Yes.
step that you want me to repeat?
Um,
Is there any step that you want me to repeat?
no, sir, I understood it.
Where did you go wrong?
So I didn't use the UV method. But
Then what did you do?
I moved on to the next question because I didn't know how to do this.
Okay. But now is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For the second part has implicit equation. So the derivative of 2x cube is going to be 6x square. For the derivative of 5xy, again, I'll have to use the product rule to differentiate this. So uv prime, if I'm taking u as 5x and v as y, u prime is going to be 5, v prime is going to be dy by dx. Do you remember implicit differentiation?
Yes, sir, but not that well. I just know it's the one with dy over dx.
Okay. Implicit differentiation may, what you get is you get an equation that involves y and x together. Now, you cannot say that y is explicitly written in form of x. So when we go for implicit differentiation, we have to differentiate y as well. So I cannot just write y, the differentiation of y as 1. I'll have to multiply by dy by dx as well, because y is a function of x and I want to differentiate y with respect to x. So applying product rule on this term 5xy, you are going to get u v prime. V prime was dy by dx plus v u prime 5y. Now what is going to be the differentiation of y cube?
3y squared.
3y square times dy
Uh,
by dx. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And the differentiation of 8 is going to be 0. Now I am going to find an expression of dy by dx by taking these terms on one side and shifting all the other terms on the other side. So 5x dy by dx plus 3y square dy by dx is equals to negative 6x square negative 5y. I can take dy by dx common out. So I'm going to get 5x plus 3y square equals to minus 6x square minus 5y. Dy by dx is going to be minus 6x square minus 5y upon 5x plus 3y square. Now to find the gradient for this, I need to have x and y. I know it's crossing the y-axis. So if this curve is crossing the y-axis, what is the coordinate on, what is the y-intercept? So I'm going to use this equation. The equation was 2x cubed plus 5xy plus y cubed equals to 8. And I'm going to plug in x as 0 in this equation to take out the value of y. This is going to be 0, this is going to be 0, y cube comes out to be equal to 8, then y comes out to be equal to, what is cube root of 8?
2.
2. So when x is 0, y is 2. I'm going to plug in the value over here. When x is 0, y is 2. So what answer are you getting? Minus 10 upon 12, which is negative 5 upon 6. This should be your answer. Is this making sense?
Yeah, so I just need to copy the last bit down.
Sure. So this question says that a parametric equation of the curve r x equals to ln 2t plus 3, y is equals to 3t plus 2 over 2t plus 3. You need to find the gradient of the curve at the point where it crosses the y-axis. It's a parametric equation because x is given in terms of t and y is given in terms of t. To find the gradient, you need dy by dx. So first of all, you will have to apply the chain rule to get dy by dx. If you differentiate x with respect to t, you get dx over dt. So differentiation of ln 2t plus 3 is going to be 1 upon 2t plus 3 times 2. That is 2 upon 2t plus 3. Okay, and dy by dt, for dy by dt, again you have to apply the quotient rule. This is u, this is v. So vu prime, u prime is going to be 3 minus u v prime is going to be 2 divided by v square, that is 2t plus 3, the whole thing square. So that is going to be 6t plus 9 minus 6t minus 4 upon 2t plus 3, the whole thing square. 60 and minus 60 can be cancelled out. 9 minus 5 is 9 minus 4 is 5. So you end up with 5 over 2t plus 3, the whole thing square. Now to find dy by dx, I'll have to apply the chain rule, that is dy by dt times dt by dx. Dy by dt is 5 upon 2t plus 3, the whole thing square. Dt by dx is the reciprocal of dx by dt. So that is going to be 2x plus 3 upon 2. Okay. Now you need to find the gradient of the curve at the point where it crosses the y-axis. At the y-axis, x is going to be 0. So if you keep x as 0, what is the value of t that you are going to get? Because our dy by dx expression is coming in terms of t. So e to the power of 0 is equal to 2t plus 3. E to the power of 0 is 1. So t comes out to be minus 2 upon 2, that is minus 1. So I want to find dy by dx when t is minus 1. I'm going to simplify this further. 5 upon 2 times 2t plus 3. Substituting t as minus 1 will get me 5 upon 2. Did you get the right answer?
So I made a small calculation mistake in dy over dt. So because of that, I didn't. But otherwise, my steps were fine.
All right, good. Let's move on to the next question now. Do you need time to copy something down?
No, sir, I'm fine.
Okay, please start with this question. So this diagram shows the curve x square plus y square, the whole thing square equals to 2 times x square minus y square, and one of its maximum point m. So that is the maximum point. We don't, if we just recall our knowledge about the maximum point, it's a point where the gradient dy by dx is 0. Now, I have the equation of the curve. To find dy by dx, I have to differentiate this with respect to x. So I'm going, this equation is a implicit equation, so I'm going to differentiate it. Now, it's up to you. If you want to open it first, that's going to be x to the power of 4 plus 2x square y square plus y to the power of 4 equals to 2x square minus 2y square. Now you are going to differentiate it. So I know differentiation of x to the power of 4 is going to be 4x cube, right? What is the differentiation of 2x square y square?
Um,
This is the product of 2x square and y square. So you have to apply product rule to derivate this. uv prime uv prime plus vu prime. Differentiation of y to the power of 4 is going to be 4y cube dy by dx equals to differentiation of 2x square is going to be 4x minus 2y square. Differentiation is going to be minus 4y dy by dx. Collect all the dy by dx on one side. To simplify this, 4x cube plus 4x square y dy by dx plus 4xy square plus 4y cube dy by dx equals to 4x minus 4y dy by dx. I'm going to collect all the dy by dx terms together on the left hand side. 4x square y dy by dx plus 4y cube dy by dx minus, so it's going to be 4y dy by dx equals to 4x minus 4x cube minus 4xy square. Okay, you can take dy by dx common and divide the rest of the thing on the right hand side. Now we want to find the coordinates of m, and for that we have to set dy by
so,
dx equals to 0, right?
yes.
If you multiply this denominator with 0, you are going to get 0. So 4x minus 4x cubed minus 4xy squared turns out to be 0. Okay, what's the next step that comes to your mind? Can we simplify this equation further? Let's see.
Mm,
If I take x common,
and 4x.
and 4, so 1 minus x square minus y square equals to 0. So I can say x square plus y square comes out to be 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have this equation and I have the equation of the curve as well. To find the values of x and y, I can just solve them simultaneously by substituting. So what I'll do is, let's substitute for y square. So y square is going to be equal to 1 minus x square. So in this equation, I'm going to substitute y square. X square plus y square. Y is 1 minus x square, the whole thing square, equals to 2 times x square minus y square, which is 1 minus x square. And you can just simplify this. X square is going to be cancelled. On the left hand side, you are going to be left with 1. 2 times x square, so that is going to be 2x square minus 1. 4x square minus 2 equals to 1. X square comes out to be 3 upon 4. So from here, x comes out to be root 3 upon 2. Are you with me till here?
Yes,
So when x is root 3 upon 2, we are going to find the value of y. So therefore, y square was equal to 1 minus x square. And if x square value is 3 upon 4, y square is going to be 1 minus 3 upon 4, that is 1 upon 4. And square root of y is going to be 1 upon 2. Plus minus 1 upon 2 hota hai, but because m will have positive x coordinate and positive y coordinate, so I'm going to take positive 1 upon 2. Yes. So m coordinates are 1 upon 2 comma root 3 upon 2.
so isn't it going to be root 3 upon 2 comma 1 upon 2?
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. It's going to be root 3 upon 2 comma 1 upon 2. All right.
Yes,
Please note it down.